AC Milan, James bench, they were so close last year, and then the wheels came off. They realized that it's a marathon and not a sprint. What can they do this time around, especially now with the Champions League schedule as part of their calendar?
I mean, turned it around quite nicely, and I think what they've done with some of those signings, particularly Giroud, is just added a few more options that allow Stefano Pioli to play that similar way. I think, I remember talking about this when the move was going through with my editors. We were sort of saying, who is the best approximation for Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and who has been ever since Zlatan kind of lost his legs? Well, it's Giroud. In many ways, you might even argue that they're going to end up at least rotating between the two. Giroud was fantastic for Chelsea, really reliable finisher. Well,
I mean, look at him. Adonis right here.
Absolutely stunning to look at.
And he loves the fact that he's at Milan as well. Like,
he's so fashion. It's a perfect melding of, and it's the right time, I think, for him to move on. I think it was amazing. He left Chelsea, where at the time a lot of fans were kind of like, do we want this Arsenal outcast? And he left with Thomas Tuchel just glowing about him. Every other manager, everyone keeps coming back to Giroud. Lampard was like, oh, I'm ready to move on. No, came back to him. Sarri adored him. Eden Hazard talks about him as one of the best players he's ever played with in terms of.
But James, I mean, he doesn't look it, but he is 34. So the rotation story definitely with him and Zlatan.
I can't believe it, and I'm 31. How depressing is that?
I mean, it's. I mean, look at him. It's whatever. But yes, I think the rotational thing, the policy between him and Zlatan will be key, especially because of the Champions League midweek matches, etc. So that's a key thing.
Maignan as well. I don't know if I pronounced that well.
We're all trying here, by the way. So maybe Jonathan Johnson can help. But Maignan,
we'll wait for him to say it and then copy that. Yeah, he was exceptional for Lille last season. His numbers are great in terms of how he performs against XG. Good sweeper keeper. He's not. We've said the same thing we said about with Inter Milan. He's not Donnarumma, but he is a damn good replacement. He is a player I would really look forward to seeing playing. And then obviously Brahim Diaz back at the club. They've got this great mixture. I think they've built the squad right. So you have Ibrahimovic and you have Giroud as the talismans, the players that the other players can play off, and they know exactly what they're doing. I mean, I remember talking to Rafael Leao last season about just how amazing a leader Ibrahimovic is. Not something we necessarily think, and I'm sure they'll think the same about Giroud. But it's a really nice mix of experience and youth. I like this team a lot. I think they're going to get top four. And I think they might end up being right up there with Juventus. I think they're a really good team.
Is it an advantage, do you think, that Pioli is one of the only manager that's sticking around out of those top seven? Only another one is part of it. Everybody else is changing personnel, but not AC Milan and Pioli. Is that an advantage, do you think?
Oh, hugely. I hadn't thought of that, but it's a really good point that, it's been more changes around the edge, around the side. So, yeah, we haven't got, we know that we can't have Zlatan week in, week out. So let's add an option there. Let's replace anyone we need to, but otherwise keep that core together. It's been a really good window for them, as much as losing, as much as it could be when you lose Donnarumma. Yeah, I think, as you say, having Pioli there, he needed time and he needed patience, but I think now everyone at AC Milan really trusts in this guy. No regrets about not getting Rangnick a year ago. It's all worked out really well, and there's such a buzz. I know a few people at Milan, and there's a real optimism about this new season, real excitement for what's to come. So I think watch for them. Tough way to open the season away at Sampdoria, but watch for them to hit the ground running, and I think they may be up there as a pace setter.